Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a topic that, let's be honest, can get a little tricky: love and money. We're going to dig into a pretty compelling and maybe even a little controversial idea that joining your finances is way more than just a convenience. It might actually be a powerful strategy for building some serious wealth together.
All right, so let's just jump right in with a question that might make you think. Forget the flowers and the fancy dinners for just a second. What if the real key to a stronger relationship and a much richer future wasn't just about sharing feelings, but about sharing a bank account? It's a pretty bold idea, so let's unpack it.
So, this all comes down to a core idea, something called the wealth of one. Right now, a lot of us think financial independence means keeping everything separate, having your own accounts. But this thesis, it kind of flips that on its head. It claims that true financial power in a partnership comes from going all in together. And this is really the heart of it. We're not talking about making it easier to split the Netflix bill. The whole point is that when you operate as a single financial unit, you're making a strategic move, one that can totally change the game for your long-term wealth.
Okay, so what is this wealth of one thing really? Well, think of it like synergy. It's the principle that, in finance, 1 plus 1 doesn't just equal 2. When you combine forces through teamwork and efficiency, you can make 1 plus 1 equal 3 or 4 or maybe even more.
So how does this actually play out in the real world? Where does the magic happen? Well, the first piece of the puzzle, and maybe the most important one, has nothing to do with spreadsheets or budgets. It's all about your mindset. It's a psychological shift.
Just think about how we talk when our finances are separate. The language is all about division. It's my student loans, your salary, my savings, your spending. It's like every single financial choice is this negotiation between two separate people with separate resources.
But when you combine your finances, that whole conversation just shifts. It has to. All of a sudden, it's not my debt against your income anymore. It's our debt, and we're going to use our income to destroy it. Everything becomes about our plan and our future.
And that shift, it has some really amazing concrete benefits. You build this incredible foundation of trust because there are no secrets, no hidden credit card bills. You're forced to get on the same page about big goals, and you keep each other accountable. You're literally on the same team playing the same game. All right, let's get into the second pillar. This is where that team mindset starts to pay off in very practical, day-to-day ways. Because once you're on the same page psychologically, you can streamline, well, everything.
Just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got the mess of separate finances. You might be paying 2 sets of bank fees, trying to figure out who paid the water bill last month. The big picture is just foggy. And on the other side, it's just clear. One system, total clarity. You know exactly where every dollar is going.
And that clarity, it's not just a nice feeling. It has a huge financial impact. When you get rid of the duplicate accounts, the 2 streaming subscriptions, and you can actually see all your spending in one place, a lot of couples find they can slash wasteful spending by a ton, sometimes as much as 35%. You're basically finding free money you didn't know you had.
Okay, so you've got the teamwork mindset and you streamlined your cash flow. This is where it really gets good. This is where you power up your investments and start to see that exponential growth we were talking about. This is how 1 plus 1 becomes way more than 2.
So let's take a pretty standard scenario. You've got 2 people both doing the right thing, investing what they can each month. Person A puts in $500, person B puts in $500. It's good, but it's disconnected. But what happens when you combine those forces? Now you have a single, powerful, $1,000 a month investment engine. And that bigger chunk of money, it doesn't just look bigger. It creates a much larger base for growth and can even give you access to better investment options with lower fees.
And this is where the magic really happens. Look at this chart for a second. This shows you the insane power of compounding interest when you start with a bigger pile of money. The bar representing the combined fund doesn't just grow, it accelerates. Over 10, 20 years, that seemingly small difference in approach just explodes. The gap becomes absolutely massive.
So let's just recap the whole thing. The path here is actually pretty simple. First, you unify the mindset. You go from yours and mine to ours. Then, you use that teamwork to streamline everything, get rid of the waste, get total clarity. And finally, you use that new efficiency and power to accelerate your growth, pooling your resources to invest as a team. So I want to leave you with one final question to chew on. We're so often taught that financial autonomy means having your own account, your own money. But what if real financial freedom, true power, isn't about keeping things separate? What if it's about the incredible security and strength that comes from building something huge and richer than you ever could have alone? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.